Right, hi everyone. So Christmas is now over, and I just want to show everyone that I got a really cool, brilliant Christmas present. Check that out. It is the Neca Spider Gremlin from Gremlins 2, and I can't wait to unbox it. Let's have a look. Right, so here we are. Here is the Gremlins Neca figure. It is the Spider Gremlin, which you'll find in that movie just there, Gremlins 2, the new batch. No pictures of it on here, but basically it's a Gremlin. If you've seen Gremlins 2 the new batch, it's a bit of a wacky one. It's very different from the first film. Basically all the Gremlins are in this like office building, and one of the floors in the office building has like a genetics lab, and the Gremlins sort of get into the genetics lab and they all start taking different genetic potions. And our main sort of like evil gremlin, they call them, it's basically like Stripe in the original, but he's called Mohawk in this one. He managed to find like a spider genetic serum and turned himself into a giant mutated spider. There are other ones. There's like an electric gremlin because he gets like an electric thing. There's one of the best ones, the brain gremlin, who becomes really super intelligent, starts talking to everyone. But here is the figures. Now, as you can see, it's a massive box. I got this from HMV in the summer, but I said to my wife, look, put it away for me for Christmas and I will have it at Christmas. You can see how much it is there. So it's 50 quid. So it was a very expensive figure. But as I said, it's a Christmas present. So, and it looks like it's going to be quite a large figure. I mean, look at the size of the box. Now, normally Neca figures have that flappy box thing that opens. A weird bit there. I don't know what that's about. Have that thing that opens, that flap, but this one does not have a flap at all. It's just a solid box so you can't see inside, which kind of like worries me a bit, because obviously I like to look to make sure the paint's good and all the parts are all right, and there's no way of knowing that before you buy it. But there we go. So it is sealed. It is sealed at the side there and at the side there. So I'm going to try and open it now, see what happens. So cut down there. Now, this character in the film is probably the best thing about the new Gremlins, the new batch. Right, so here we go. I'm looking down the side of it. Oh, you can see the Gremlin already sticking out the side. Looks like he comes with the beaker that had the stuff in it. Anyway, here we go. So we slide it out. It's gonna be. I think I'll do this way around so you get to see it come out proper way around. Holy sugar, that looks amazing. We've got legs flying out of us. Oh my god. That is massive. Check that out. Wow, it looks proper like slimy almost. It's brilliant. Got the legs. Oh, see, this I hate. Like, I don't hate Neca, but I always worry that things are going to get broken. I can see he's getting broken, so that worries me a bit. Here's more. Right, it tells us here. What's it? Oh, no, it's a little instruction thing. Leg assembly. Hold the figure leg and look for the joint socket as per pointed by the arrow. Dip the leg in warm water for about 25 seconds. Join the legs together by inserting the lower leg with ball joint as per image. So I've got to get some warm water. I'll start by getting bits out already, and then we'll go from. Oh, it's got a stand. So we'll start by getting bits out, and then what we'll do is I'll go get a jug of warm water. Like I said, I will do exactly what it says because I do not want anything bad to happen. Well, that looks like he's sticking it. That looks like it's the bottom of the leg. Like you stick the bottom of the leg in the water, because that's the yeah. Look, you pop the joint in this. Oh, I suppose you can then bend the legs a bit more, maybe, so they can stand up. I don't know. We'll have a look as we go along, anyway. Oh yeah, because they go. Oh no, look, you put that bit in the water. That bit there. Anyway, let's try and get this thing out before we do anything else. We'll start by getting this out. This has got a picture of Spider. It's just like the movie. It does. It is literally just like the movie. What does that say there? Flammable. But there you go. If you can see that, it's got the spider. That there says flammable. Now it's hard to get the focus. There you go. But look at that. It's got like a blue sort of liquidy stuff in it to make it look good. That is good. It's a bit bashed. Oh, that's dust. It's like a weird dusty stuff on it. That's that gone. But yeah, I like that. I like that. That's going. I'm gonna have that hole in its hand. Hopefully, you can put that in its hand because that'll be fantastic if you can. Right, let's try and get this thing out. This looks horrible, doesn't it? Look at this. It's these funky cable ties. What I might do is I'll try and get these out, and then we'll come back to you. Okay, so I'm guessing they had hired the scouts on Bob a Job Week to attach and tie up these cable ties, because I ain't going to lie to you, it took me bloody ages to try and get those cable ties off. That was a killer. Right, so what we got going on here? So we've got... Is that mouth open? Oh, it does. It just feels a bit... Is that mouth open? Oh, look at that. It does open. Right, so here he is, and he's almost all his glory. Now, I don't know how good my lighting is here that you can see, but the colours on this thing are stunning. I'm trying to get it in focus. I'm sorry it's not that great. There we go. Look at that. Trying to keep it in focus. See if I zoom in a little bit. Maybe then we get more focus going on. So there we go. So if you look there, look at that. I mean, the shiny effect it's got on it, the sort of like glossy look, gives it an almost slimy creepiness. But look at this, is the best bit. Look at that. When you open the mouth up, inside there you can see the tongue, the teeth. His face is perfect. Is that, oh, you can turn them a little bit. It's got a lot of movement here. So there's a lot of articulation on this. So you can get yourself some really cool pose. Oh, look at the bottom. Just reminds me of, do you remember Stephen King's It, the original It, the TV show from like, feels like the late 80s, early 90s. Doing that reminds me of that. But anyway, so look at that. I mean, look at the abdomen. It's very black. Oh, it actually moves. Look, so you've got movement on that. So you can get a lot of pose on this, but this is very Black Widow based. I mean, the detail on Neca figures is extraordinary. Anyway, this one has got so much detail. It's that big giant abdomen. I love this here. The spikes on the back, the sort of almost creature from the Black Lagoon style spikes. I'm sorry, you're getting no... What if I move those? Would you get a better focus then? No, I'm really bad at focus on this. I am so sorry. Maybe if I zoomed out. There you go. That's better, isn't it? So yeah, so as I said, like the creature from the Black Lagoon style crest there. The colours are just immense, and that shiny, slimy look is brilliant. If you've ever seen the film, you'll see. Oh, look at that detail on that. You'll see everything from the film is represented in this, and it is phenomenal. Wow. And under there is like a peg hole. I'm guessing that's for the stand that we get, which I'm going to put on in a second. Right. I'm trying to hold like this because it's going to be easy to hold and move around. But it looks like, yeah, I mean, you can get all kinds of range of poses with this. So I'm going to have him upright with his head sort of up, mouth open. That's how I'm going to pose him. Let's be honest. That's how you want it posed. Maybe, I don't know. You sort of leaning back, that mouth up. Look at that. Although I kind of like it kind of like that, sort of, because all the way open, you kind of see that. So I'm not even showing you now. All the way open, you can kind of see there's like a white mark in there, which I don't like that bit there. But if you show it slightly, look at that, and that little spike at the bottom. Sorry if I've been showing. I'm basically trying to look at this figure with my own eyes and forgetting that I've got a camera in front of me. So if I've messed up with some of the sort of visuals you can get, but that is brilliant. I'm blown away by that. That is the creepiest, most evil looking gremlin I think they've ever made. I mean, Gremlins 2, the new batch, isn't my favourite Gremlins film. The first one is my favourite Gremlins film. I actually have a Neca Gremlin from that. I'll get that out and show that in a second, on comparison side by side. But Gremlins is one of my favourite films of all time. But this is just next level, disturbing, evil looking. Right, so I'm going to get me a cup of water, like it says to on the instructions. I'm going to get my cup of water. of it just says warm water. So I'm just going to let it warm tap run for a bit, and we'll see what happens. Right, so I've got my mug of warm water. So I don't have a Gremlin's mug at the minute, but best auntie ever, you know. Now I have noticed there are two different types of leg. We've got this one here, which is the slightly small. Trying to focus again. Me and focus is not going well today, is it? Move that out of the way for a second. Now I've noticed this leg here is smaller and it has an extra and one less joint. See this leg here? So this is this part, and this one has got like an extra bit. Now it looks like these ones are the back legs and this will be the front leg. I am guessing. I'm hoping, because I'm about to stick this leg in. I've got my water, so it says to dip, whatever that is, to dip the leg in there first for a couple of minutes, I'm guessing. So I swear it's going to like take the paint off or something. I mean, I get why they're doing it. So they're saying to put it in the warm water because that will sort of soften it up a little bit when you try and stick it in. So it's just a ball joint, so I'm hoping we'll be right. Right. I want to give it a go. I might do this off camera so it's closer to me. So I apologise if there's nothing happening at the second. And that looks massive. How the hell does that fit in there? These small joints. Right, bear with me 1 minute. I'm back in the hot water. It is really hard to get these legs on. I'm actually terrified I'm going to snap a ball joint or something. Right, I've got one on. It took a hell of a lot of force and I was terrified I was going to break it. I ain't going to lie to you. It's actually hurt my hands because you've got to put pressure on here. And you see, that's spiky. So you put, I don't know if you can see the red marks left on my fingers. Because I'm trying to pin that and push that at the same time. And that was a nightmare. That just took me bloody ages. So I'm not going to show you me doing all of them, obviously. I'm going to try to push it in. But it is hard. It is really hard work. Look at what this is doing to my hand trying to push it in. So look, see that? That mark there, look, it's literally so bloody hard. Okay, so these legs, the back legs, are actually even harder because they've got this spiky bit here. Can you see that spiky bit where my finger is? There. That is stabbing into my finger as I'm trying to push it in. This is so hard. And you're terrified you're going to sort of snap an arm because you're putting so much pressure on the actual figure when you're trying to sort of shove it in there. Oh my God, this is a killer. I mean, imagine if you'd like put that leg on up here. Oh, you probably can't see, but I'll try and zoom out there how. Oh, my. Oh. So imagine if you'd put like this leg on this one, you had to take it off again and put, oh my God, the stress. The stress. I swear this is getting harder and harder with every leg. I mean, my hands are like bashed to death. This is a nightmare. Now, I haven't looked at anyone else's like videos on this because it's like I wanted to do a fresh take. And sometimes if you look at someone else's video, you kind of sort of look at their point of view. I just wanted it all to be my point of view, but I might have to look at someone's video to see if there's an easy way to do this because at the minute I'm getting beat up by this thing. This thing's kicking my ass. So I just had a major heart attack moment when I was putting it on and this ball joint popped off. So this ball joint here popped off there. And I swear to God, I thought it broke. I had a heart attack, hot sweat moment. Oh my God, the stress of this thing. I've never known anything like this. Oh my God. Tension, stress, you name it. It says you leave it in there for like, I mean, part of me at the minute was thinking maybe boiled water will be better, but I'm worried what that's going to do to the figure. Is it going to sort of like melt the figure a little bit? Is it going to destroy the paint? I don't use that. All it says on here is in warm water for 25 seconds. I do that about 6 times every time I'm trying to put one of these things on. I sort of give it a bit, and obviously it starts to cool down, I guess, as you're trying to struggle with it in. I'm going to be bleeding by the end of this. I know I am. How many more do we have to do? 3 more to go. I've been at this thing for about half an hour. Oh. You know, you'd think for 50 quid a figure they'd set the bloody thing up themselves, wouldn't you? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. I mean, look at that. Look, can you see that there? There. That's the stab marks in my hand where I'm trying to put the pressure on. Look at that. Oh. Bloody thing. Okay, so yeah, the figure is absolutely out of this world. I love this figure. It's possibly one of my favourite Neca figures just from the detail of it. I mean, every inch of this thing has been meticulously painted and sculpted and all that. I mean, this could be a bit more straighter up, but I kind of like the curve in it, to be honest with you. And to give you sort of a balance of Neca figure size, here is the traditional Gremlin, the Neca one, the ultimate Gremlin. Look at the size difference compared. Look at that. But I said, look, this has got like a matte finish to it, which suits the actual figure there. But this one's got like this silvery shiny, which he actually has in the movie. What I'll do, I'll probably put up next where my cup is. I'll put the an image of it from the movie. I might put a couple of images from the movie there. So I'm holding it like this for a minute. And see if it compares. But I mean, look at that. The spikes down the side here. The ears. I mean, can you move the... No, the ears aren't independent. I mean, if you've seen the film where they sort of like, you see the spider and the 2 girls manage to take it down, and Gizmo in the end, like, does a Rambo and sort of sends a Molotov cocktail arrow at it and kills it. Which I ain't going to lie to you, when I was putting it together, I kind of wanted to do that, so I don't blame Gizmo for that one little bit. Look at the eyes. I'm trying to get... Look at that. In the mouth. But, like, I don't blame Gizmo one bit for wanting to burn the thing alive, because I was very close to doing it myself when putting it together. But that is amazing. I am astounded by that. Like I said, for 50 quid, you think Neca would have some way of getting it all together in a maybe a slightly bigger box? But I mean, I get why they did it. It was probably cheaper for them to package it the way they have and assemble it yourself. But I mean, I'm not the strongest person in the world, but I'm also not the weakest person in the world. But for someone who's maybe a bit weaker than I am, that would have been near impossible. I mean, that took a lot of strength to get them in there, and it took a lot of control as well. But I can imagine these have got snapped and damaged. I mean, I popped one of the little leg joints off there, which was already stuck together because of the pressure I was trying to put on it to put it down. But I do love it, I ain't gonna lie. I'm bitching about it, but I do love it. And I'm gonna have this on my shelf in my front room. I have like the bedroom shelf you see over there, which has a lot of stuff on it, which I moved for Christmas. I'm gonna move some of that stuff back now, but that one's got to go in the front room and it on display. This guy, he hangs up somewhere different in my front room. He's in my front room still. What is that on the side of his house? No, there's a white mark on the side of his house. I've never noticed that before. Just there. It's really shown up on the camera. You can't really see it when it's in the figure, but on the camera it's shown up quite a lot. I mean, these guys are articulated as well in the jaw, so you can move the jaw and stuff. But yeah, brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. That's going to go up next to my Trick or Treat Studios Gremlin, which I have, the life-size one. That's going to go up next to that, I think. But oh my God. I've never had such a painful experience in putting a figure together in my life. Normally you don't have to put these things together. They're sort of there, ready to go, and you sort of have to pose them and everything. But oh my God, it was a pain. Let's try and turn this around a bit more. I've got basically, I'm using my normal sort of light, so I'm trying to sort of show you from, look at that in the chest there. I mean, that's the only thing you can tell that join there is a join. If they could find a way, because that's a different colour to that, which it might be like that in the film, but that to me stands out a bit too much. Maybe they could have somehow blended that better. Obviously now he's got the stick sticking out of his butt, but there is no, I mean, the weight of the figure, there's no way these legs could support that weight at all. Maybe if you sort of glued them, but I just think these would crumble. These like feet bits here would crumble with the weight. So I mean, this is why they've got the stand. You have to have this stand. I'd have liked it if they had like Gremlins 2, the new batch written on the stand. That might have worked for me. That would have been a bit better. But I mean, you can always make your own stand, I suppose, if you really, really wanted to. I mean, that's not going to fit underneath there or anything like that. But like, if you could get like a miniature version of that and stick it in front of it, just to show the thing, maybe if you've got like, if the Gremlin stood there, it kind of hides that in a way, but you wouldn't really want that Gremlin there because it's a different film. Or you could get like a Mogwai, maybe like a small Mogwai Neca figure could hide that if you put it in front of it. So it looks like sort of like bowing over the figure, sort of like if he's going to eat the figure or whatever. Well, let's try and put, no, I haven't done. I haven't put that in his hand. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so that does fit quite nicely in that hand. The way it sort of grips it. So that is brilliant. So you can have that on display as well, the little spider serum that they take. So Gremlins 2 is a great film. It's not as good as the first one's more of a horror, sort of Christmassy horror film. But Gremlins 2 is more, I don't like using the word meta because a lot of people use the word meta now, but it's very self-aware that it's a movie. And it's sort of one part halfway through the film where the Gremlins take over the movie you're watching. There's two different versions of that film, actually. There's one for the cinema where the Gremlins take over the cinema production. And there was like a video or TV version where the Gremlins sort of took over the TV you were watching. And so like flicking through the channels and stuff. So it's like a made for TV version of that part of the film. And then you got if you're watching the cinema, you had a version where sort of like Hulk Hogan stands up in the cinema screen and like shouts at the Gremlins. And the sort of made for TV version, they sort of, instead of it being the cinema screen, it's like your TV's gone mental because the Gremlins are inside your TV. I think it's like John Wayne that ends up telling to start the movie up again. You go back to the movie. But this scene with this sort of creature, sort of the girl, I can't remember her name, sort of the red-headed sort of, she's kind of like trying to get with Billy. And she gets caught up in the spider web, and then so Billy's girlfriend turns up from the first film and the second film and tries to save him from this, and then they sort of both get caught by it. And then Gizmo appears dressed up like Rambo and shoots a flaming arrow to sort of vanquish this sort of demonic spider gremlin. I'm kind of swaying back and forth. I'm not in the camera, sort of swaying back and forth like I'm on a boat or something. But I mean, let's look at some of the detail. I mean, this is proper sick. I'm trying to get the best light I can for you. I'm sorry, guys. But just look at the colour. I mean, the colours are just phenomenal. They're popping. The detail of every sort of like reptilian style skin is just fantastic. The spikes on it. The colours are right out of the movie. Just the best figure I think I own at the minute. So I really hope you've enjoyed this unboxing video, and I hope you've enjoyed the fact that I've gone through the most amount of pain for you guys to see it. If you do have this figure and you've struggled or it's broken, let me know in the message. I'm kind of interested to see your experiences with this figure. It has definitely been an experience. It's worth it, the pain, and I think it's worth the money, because 50 quid, it's a lot of money, 50 quid. But when you think you pay sort of like about 40 quid for those ones now, sort of between 20 and 40 quid, depending on sort of which one you're getting. And I love the detail. They are to me, they are the best figure range out there, the Neca figures, because they are so detailed. I mean, I have a lot of them myself up on the shelf just behind me. I'm growing my collection. I'm not a rich individual, so I can't afford to buy them all the time. It is generally, I get them for birthdays. I might treat myself randomly to a figure. I look like, as I said in one of my previous videos, I like to buy, because of a bad experience I had where I actually got a fake one turn up when I ordered it off Amazon. I like to buy them new from a company called Mad About Horror normally. This is from HMV. I figure you can trust HMV. They're a big global sort of like a store that obviously imports from Neca directly. So I could trust HMV. Normally I get them from a company called Mad About Horror in the UK, because I know they're getting the proper stuff, like this, not the fake stuff coming through. Like I said before, I got a dodgy one from Amazon that was a fake Neca Scream Ghostface figure, and it was blatantly fake when it turned up. The packaging was off. There's actually a video on my channel somewhere on here where I show you sort of that fake one that I got it through picture sale. I didn't take a video of it, but I took photos of it, and then I compare it sort of the real one. And there's even an unboxing off here of the real one. I finally got a real one, which I actually got from Mad About Horror. But I do love the Neca figures. I think they are my favourite figure range, just because the detail they put in. I know a lot of people have issues with them, like some people say they break easily. People have like a lot of problems with the articulation and movement. Like, they're not figures to be played with. They're basically statues that you can move a little bit every so often to change the position. Usually when I get them in a position, I'm trying to leave them that way. But this is going to be a bugger to dust, isn't it? Jesus Christ. Anyway, again, I hope you really enjoyed watching this video. Let me know in the comments if you've got this figure, if you've had any issues with this figure. Let me know if you want to buy this figure. If you do buy the figure, I suggest you sort of like wear thick rigger gloves or something when you're trying to put it together, and follow the instructions. The hot water, it does help, but not, it's basically, it's a brute strength, and being a bit cautious while you're using your brute strength. If you're a clumsy sort of person, be careful you're not going to snap any of the limbs or that, because if the ball joint snaps off, you're kind of stuffed. You're then looking at super gluing it back together, and it's never going to move the same way. Just be very careful. Pay attention to the instructions. It is going to help you a little bit, but not that much. It is like pure forcing it in, and like I was thinking about turning the camera around at one point and like showing me struggling with it, but then I thought, you know what, it's going to put anyone off watching it, to be honest, because my face was like, and you just see me like, and I ain't gonna lie, I was swearing a lot, and I'd have probably been kicked off YouTube for the amount of bad words that come out. I think every English bad word I used while the camera was turned off. So it's a good job I didn't have it show anyway, guys. Cheers for watching. If you like these kind of videos, subscribe. I've got a few more on the channel. I do a lot of trailer reviews and movie reviews every once in a while. I want to do some Halloweeny bits because I get mega into Halloween. And there's some Elf on the Shelf videos if you're interested as well on this channel, so on the shorts part. But enjoy yourselves. I hope you had a good Christmas, and enjoy your new year. Bye. Okay, so just an added extra for the end of the video here. I know I've already said my goodbye bit, but this is so big, it doesn't actually fit on my shelf properly. Now, I wanted to display it with these things here and a few other figures around it, but it is so big, it won't... Do not me try and mount this over. It kind of doesn't fit on the shelf because the legs stick out too far. That shelf really needs a dust. But I can't actually get it on my shelf. I'm going to have to rethink where I put this thing. But that's just one thing to think about. It is so big that it will not go on the shelf. Ah! Well, I kind of got it on there in the end, but it's kind of not how I want it. I have to definitely rethink this thing. I'm definitely going to have to get my duster out.